Welcome to the Art Lady Home. Today I'm going to show you how to make this amazing pizza right here. And actually this is our leftovers. We just finished eating. And so I'm going to show you step by step. This is vegan friendly and it's actually a complete meal because if you look closely, we've got some beans in here that give protein. And I also use some nutritional yeast. So stick around. If you like the video, be sure and subscribe. And I'm going to show you step by step how I made this amazing dairy-free pizza. Today I'm going to be making a vegan pizza. It's going to have nutritional yeast instead of a cheese product or a dairy-free cheese product. I'm going to be using just nutritional yeast. We find that these pizzas are just as satisfying without any type of a cheese substitute, especially if you load it with fresh vegetables. And also we're going to be using, you can see the vegetables I'm going to be putting on here today, and those are portobello mushrooms. And then I'm going to throw in some olives and I'll slice those real thin. Artichoke hearts, we absolutely love this on our pizza. And tomatoes, onions, fresh garlic, red pepper, those are green onions. And then for the protein part of this will be a complete meal. I'm going to be using nutritional yeast and then a can of pinto beans. You can use any canned beans. We absolutely love garbanzo beans on our pizza. I'm just out of them today. Then for the seasonings, we're going to be using just a variety of our favorite seasonings. You can put on basically any seasoning you want. I'm going to throw in a little bit of garlic powder, onion powder. We like that on top. And then, of course, your rosemary, garlic, Italian seasoning, and then that's a garlic pepper that I'm just going to grind in there. A lot of these seasonings I pick up at TJ Maxx or Marshall's, things like that. So if you are looking for the seasonings that I use, that's the ones that are in those containers like that, the rosemary with garlic, that kind of mixed gourmet type ones. And then I'm going to just use a simple, cheap, inexpensive sauce for the base, and then we like to sprinkle a little bit of sauce on top of everything as well. And then you can add in, if you'd like, some basil pesto, arugula pesto. These give really beautiful flavors to the pizza. These are made with cashews. These are vegan friendly, and they're made with cashews and pine nuts, so it gives it that creamy feel. So that kind of is a substitute for some cheeses as well as the nutritional yeast. And I buy my nutritional yeast in bulk form, and this comes in just bags, but you can use, of course, any nutritional yeast as a sprinkle on top. And like I said, this pizza is pretty satisfying, even though it doesn't have the cheeses on it. Oh, for my crust, what I'm using is, we prefer the thin crust. These are just store-bought thin crusts, and actually Aldi's has a great thin crust, store-bought, pre-made store-bought crust that actually comes with a package of sauce in it that's pretty decent tasting. But these didn't come from Aldi's. I believe I bought these from like a Publix or a Winn-Dixie. I think it was, oh no, actually Super Walmart. Yeah, I did get these at Super Walmart, so they're pre-made. But like I said, they don't come with the sauce package like the ones from Aldi's do, which we really enjoy. So let me go ahead and start making the pizza, and I'll show you how we assemble it step by step. The first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to spread some of my pesto on. And I'm going to make one pizza with the basil and one pizza with the arugula pesto. And again, this is vegan friendly, and it's made with some cashew nuts, and I think this one has pine nuts in it as well. And I found this, it's kind of hard to find the vegan friendly ones. This I actually found at a TJ Maxx, the basil one. And my other one, where did I find that one? Let me see where that was. Oh, I'm not sure where that was. I'm not sure where I found that. Could have been Tuesday morning, TJ Maxx. Sometimes you find in those fun stores like that great food products. I love looking for them. Okay, so I'm doing a thin pesto, and then I'm going to do a thin layer of sauce. And then what I also like to do is the sauce on top of the pizza as well. We find that gives our vegetables, they make it not so dry. but we like a lot of sauce. So I'm doing a thin layer at the bottom, and the pesto flavors the crust. And now I'm going to go ahead and build this, and I'm going to do it pretty quick for you. I'm going to start off with some artichokes, and of course my order and what you put on is up to you. I break up the artichoke pieces into smaller pieces, and I'm using a half a jar for each pizza. And when we make our pizzas, there's a few people eating the pizza, so we do both pizzas at the same time. This little package, I think they're sale for about $3. And these packages, they give you 2 pizzas. We always make both. What I like about this home cooking is it's a lot healthier than your store-bought pizza. Of course, your store-bought pizza is a lot more money. And for delivery, like the other day, we did a pizza for delivery, and I also did a pickup one too. And the delivery ones are close to $40 by the time you pay the delivery guy and the fees. Okay, now I'm going to spread on my vegetables. And I slice these vegetables with a mandolin slicer. And you can see how beautiful and whisper thin they are. If you don't have a mandolin slicer and you're vegan, you probably want to get one because they are amazing. And they also save you a lot of time because we go through so much vegetables. Now I'm going to go ahead and spread these out thin. I dry my vegetables before I slice them because you don't want a lot of wet soggy in the pizza. So I'm putting on a layer of onions, a layer of the red peppers, and I use 1 pepper for both pizzas and 1 medium-sized onion for both pizzas. Now I'm going to slice on, I kind of like my tomatoes, let me do the green onions first. Yeah, I like my tomatoes a little bit closer to the top. So I'm going to sprinkle in my green onions. Now, before I do anything else, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start giving some seasoning. Because I find that if you put all your seasoning on the top layer, it's a little bit too much. I like the layers and the vegetables seasoned as they go along. So I'm sprinkling now some rosemary. Of course, garlic and rosemary. Of course, you can use your own seasonings that you like. Now, I do have some fresh chopped up garlic. I'm going to wait for the top on that, though, because now I'm going to do a layer of tomatoes. The reason I wait on the top there, I want that garlic to roast. And it takes a little bit of the being so strong and potent when it's on the top. If it's buried under here, it doesn't roast as well, and sometimes you get a big chunk, and it's like, whoo! So I'm going to do a layer of these tomatoes, and again, these were cut on the mandolin slicer, and they are whisper thin. Now when we do our pizzas, I like to go to the very edge of the crust. That way this area doesn't burn. Sometimes it browns up before the middle is ready. I have a couple more artichokes I'm going to finish putting on as well. And then I'm going to fill the center with that tomato. You notice that when I put the sauce on in the beginning, it was very little sauce. The tomatoes are going to give a little bit more of the juice. Let me fill in here. And because they're so thin, they're going to be easy to eat. You just take a bite and it'll break apart. Now I'm going to layer a little nutritional yeast and some beans. This is important, especially if you're vegan, because you want to have your protein. A lot of times people will start off vegan and then they'll start making all their pizzas and they're forgetting the protein. And when you have all of this vegetables layered in, you're not going to notice the beans. They just are nice little, when you bite into them, they're nice and creamy. They're beautiful. It makes a difference. I love the beans on, and you'll get used to that too. Especially if you're used to, or new to being dairy-free. But like I said, we enjoy these pizzas so much. Here's some more of my onions. I just want to use them up. That we don't miss the cheese. And now I'm going to do some black olives. I'm going to slice up. Now I'm going to sprinkle on a little bit more of that rosemary. And then I'm going to sprinkle on some of my Italian seasoning. And meanwhile, my oven is being heated. And I put it on a convection bake. If you don't have convection, just use a regular set oven, 400, 415. 425, depending on your own oven, how it cooks and heats. I heat mine at 400, and I put it on, I'm going to put a little bit more beans on, I'm just using the rest of the can. Convection bake, and I cook it until the bottom is crisped. And I cook mine on a pizza stone. You can cook it just in the center of your oven on a rack, or if you have a pizza pan, how you prefer. Some people prefer I just like the pizza stone. I think it cooks better. Now I'm going to sprinkle on some garlic powder, lightly. And then I'm going to throw on some of my black olives. This gives good fat to the pizza. And the beans give me my protein source. And I'm also sprinkling on nutritional yeast. And again, this is optional. This is going to give protein, and it also gives a cheese flavor. And I buy it in bulk form. So I'm going to sprinkle it on. A light cheese flavor it gives. Now I save some of my sauce so that it can go on top. Sometimes this nutritional yeast, you don't want it to dry it out. So I'm lightly sprinkling on that. Now I do have some beautifully sliced mushrooms that are very, very thin. If you don't slice them really, really thin, it depends on your personal preference, but we like ours cooked pretty good, so I'm putting it on the top. If you don't slice them real, real thin, then you want to probably cook them first. That's up to you. I do it both ways, and if I cook them first, I can put them underneath my tomatoes. If not, they go on top. Anything that I want to cook a little bit more, I'm putting on top. This is becoming amazing. This looks just amazing. This is just stacked up like a pie. Now I'm going to throw on my raw garlic. And I'm going to sprinkle that around. I chopped up 4 cloves of raw garlic and 2 for each pizza. That smells amazing. And I have some crumbs of pizza. This stuff I'm just going to throw on. Now I'm going to double check all my ingredients. I always seem to forget at least one of something. I'm going to sprinkle my sauce on now. Leftover sauce. The last of it. I'm just going to kind of drizzle it. I'm going to bump that. Some drizzlings of the sauce. And then I'm going to grind in some of this right on the top of everything, some garlic pepper seasoning. And I'm just lightly grinding that over it. This just gives the top a little punch. We like seasonings. We like a lot of seasonings. Nothing plain in this house. Okay, so there you have it. Now, I'm making it on actually the cardboard. If you look here, so that's like my pizza peel. That's one thing on my big bucket list of I gotta get, and I gotta get it soon, I want a really beautiful wooden pizza peel. But we use this, and I'm just gonna slide it right onto the pizza stone that's already in the oven heating. But I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. This was about 16 minutes out, 16 minutes in the oven. And this was the first pizza I actually made. The one you didn't watch. And the other one's on the pizza stone right now. And I just want to show you what it looks like. And my little cute little pizza cutter. That I think came from Tuesday Morning or TJ Maxx, one of those stores. But there's the piece right there. So we've got a nice little crispy crust. And this, like I said, this is the thin crust. This is a store-bought thin crust. And I like the stuff right up to the edge, because see how it browns a little bit on the edge here? Because you want the vegetables to cook here and here. And bon appetit. Amazing. Let me know how yours comes out.